Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. I'm gonna try to get this thing going. Shout out to everybody joining the live, no matter what platform you're on. We're gonna try to get this all situated. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Shout out to whatever platform you're on. Don't matter where you're at. We're on 6 different platforms. Let's kick it. Let's rock and roll. Everybody can hear me all right? Cool. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome everybody to the live. If you don't know who I am, I go by Zabo103. I'm the dude that get on these live platforms and I literally just try to provoke thought. I believe if you think, if you research, and you take action, you absolutely, without a doubt, can win. Look, y'all, I'm gonna dive right into this, and just for the sake of argument, we're gonna take off these shoes. We're gonna get real comfortable because I can't believe what I'm seeing. It's almost I don't even know what to call it. In the Matrix, they would call it a glitch in the Matrix, but it's unreal what I'm seeing right now. So give people a few minutes to jump in, and I'm just gonna dive in. I'm probably on this live, not gonna do a lot of repeating. What's up, family? I'm not gonna do a lot of repeating, and I am going to try to avoid, and I'm not gonna say try, I'm gonna avoid a lot of the distractions on this live. Just because the stuff that I'm seeing right now, again, I can't even believe it. That's just what it is. For those people that are popping in, that are new to my life, welcome. Those that's been rocking with me now for the last 138 weeks straight of going live, I appreciate y'all for always tapping in. Special shout out to the law-abiding citizens over there at Zabo103TV.com. Shout out to y'all. We went up this morning on live over there. And I got off that live, y'all, and it was interesting, all the stuff that I came across. I do need to say this before we dive into that, though, because I want to make sure that we are all on the same page here. This what's up, family? I appreciate y'all. This live is a safe place. Everybody's welcome. I'm just really, again, on here showing love. There's no punching down on this platform. We try to get people to, well, I try to get people to think, and so they can see, how to get out of their own way to do and accomplish the things that they want to accomplish. So I say that to say this: don't allow your education to stop your education. There are things that transpire every single day on this planet that you just don't know nothing about. And it's okay, because we don't know everything. None of us do. Ground rules for I guess the people on here that are way smarter than me. This is not your opportunity to try to poke holes through anything. This is the one time that I would say, sit on your thumbs. Because if you knew these different things, you probably would be taking action on the things that you're about to hear. And knowing what I understand today, seeing the things that I've seen, you might want to just chill out today. Because I know for a fact your schools ain't teaching you this stuff. None of your school. I don't care from elementary all the way to your college, you ain't learning this stuff on your job. I don't even have to act like that's a possibility. I just don't. You're not getting it. Because if you were learning this stuff, you would absolutely, without a doubt, would never go back to work ever again in your life. And that's just a fact. It is what it is, y'all. And I don't like speaking in absolute, but this is one of those moments where I'm like, hey, know your role, shut your mouth. It just is what it is, y'all. So, with that being said, have an open mind. Start to understand that at some point in your life, it needs to be sooner than later. You have to unlearn the stuff that you've learned and start relearning things that's going to make your life better than what it is. Right. And I think that that's where the rubber is going to meet the road. So, as far as in like the distraction goes, if you're one of those people that's looking to try to debate with me at this point, just swipe. I promise you, I don't want you here. In fact, mod up. Anybody that goes in the direction of anything different than what they're hearing right now, remove them and block them. I don't never want to see them again. It just is what it is. So, first thing first, and the title, what I put on this live is for a reason. This might be it. This might be the last time in your lifetime that you're gonna have an opportunity to take advantage of the biggest transfer of wealth you've ever seen in your life. This might be it, y'all. I know people, like he gonna warm up and he's gonna keep talking and talking and he never we diving straight into it. This might be it for real. We've seen over our lifetime. I know, I've been on this planet 48 years, and every time something like this come around, it normally be around like that that 0 mark year. And what I mean by that, like 2020, 2010, 2000, 1990, 1980, 1970, 1960, 1950. The next mark, it's to me at this point, today was the complete start of what I've been believing for so long that I'm seeing come into fruition. I truly understand that by 2030, it's going to be another burst. So that's about 5 years. But what I never understood was I always thought that in that 10th year mark, that when these different things that we're seeing, like we're seeing today, that I'm about to talk about, these things we seeing, I thought they just happened in that year and that was it. I never saw the beginning stages of it. And this happening today, y'all. This whole distraction piece with and I ain't gonna talk too much about it because I know it's a conflict on some platforms, but this whole thing with tariffs right now, y'all, it's unreal. A lot of small business are about to struggle badly. What does that mean? If you're a small business and you don't understand how to pivot, you in trouble. What is a small business? Any business that make less than $50 million a year, that's a small business. So if you make less than $50 million a year, you are a small business. I'm just trying to put the framework out there right now so you understand. If you don't know how to pivot, you don't understand what moves you need to make at this point, you in trouble. Big time. So let me try to let me try to give you some other people thoughts for a second where you've heard about them in the past. Everybody on this live have heard of Warren Buffett before. I'm assuming. If you've heard of Warren Buffett before, put a 1 in the chat. I just want to make sure we all on the same page. If you don't know who he is, put a 2 in the chat. If you know who Warren Buffett is, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't know who he is, put a 2 in the chat. I think mostly everybody know who Warren Buffett is. I don't think there are too many people that don't know who Warren Buffett is. If you know who Warren Buffett is, you've heard him say, right? When people are being greedy in the market, that's when you get rid of your stuff. When there's fear in the market and people are, whatever the market's doing, you're going to do the opposite. And when I say the market, I'm not talking about the stock market. So when the economy, everything is doing great, that's when you sit back and watch. You maintain. When the economy go into a recession, depression, whatever it is, that's when you go eat. And this opportunity that I'm seeing right now today, the last time I saw something like this was probably back in 2006, 2007. And then it happened again in like 2018. A couple years after that, we saw a pandemic. A couple years in 2026, 2027, we saw the big I don't want to call it the bank crisis, but that's what it was. All the mortgage fraud in the world were going on. Y'all remember the .com era. These things don't just happen during that time. They happen years before, and there'd be signs that you can see once you have seen these things and you know how to capitalize on it. And I'm telling you right now, all you good, clean people that have gotten all these gifts and all these talents that aren't using any of it, you need to be taking advantage of it. You know how to make stuff, you know how to create things, you know how to do this, you know how to do that. You need to be figuring out how to take advantage of it. Because I'm telling you, right now, this is going to be crazy. Back then, they was doing stated loans. If you had a 700 credit score, you can work at McDonald's and go get you $1 million house. Back then, you can do 3 closing in one day. You can do more than that if you had enough skills. Those folks ain't around no more. The point that I'm making is this opportunity that's on us right now, when it comes to things like tariffs, when it comes to things like where you getting your stuff from, you better be figuring out how to take advantage of these opportunities. You better be figuring it out. I can't even make that up if I wanted to. And it's almost scary to think that a lot of people are going to lose out on the opportunity of taking advantage of setting a family and a bloodline financially free because they want to sit back because they're scared. They in fear. Things are going to get tight right now. And being that things are going to get tight right now, it's going to get almost scary to even breathe. When I left Bank of America, it was the prime time for me to leave. I caught the curve getting ready to start. I was already putting things, I already had things in motion business-wise, conducting business so the business could blossom. And I caught it at the perfect time, and it was almost like the perfect storm, because when the pandemic hit, for a person that owned a toilet paper company at that time, you only can imagine what transpired. I didn't know that that was going to happen. Had no clue. But I remember the signs. And those same signs we're seeing right now. It's almost scary to even think about it. So let me start off by saying this. If you are a person at your job right now still procrastinating about what you're going to do, you might have a bigger issue. We're in the second quarter of your year at your job. This is the time frame where decisions are made on who they're going to lay off. Now, I don't know if you're in that bunch or not. You don't know. You might assume you are, you might assume that you're not. But whatever you do, you better get on the ground and start running, because the reality of it is, what we're seeing right now, this perfect storm that's transpiring, where these small business may not be able to get their products that you all love to have at a reasonable price, and they're gonna get hit with a crazy price to get your products. Your regular products that you love and you have that you take for granted is gonna cost you an arm and a leg. It don't mean you get no raise on your job. It doesn't mean you get a cost of living increase at all. You may just get laid off in the process. If you are a person that's been procrastinating for weeks and weeks and weeks and months and years on end, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to prepare you. Because no matter if you are afraid, no matter if you're doing something or not, it's happening. It is absolutely without a doubt happening. We were looking at a couple of, like, some of the products and stuff that we have that I don't really talk about, that we deal with other places on, right? We were talking about how we can do something different. Might have to go ahead, talk to the attorney today, and told him, like, hey, look, we need to go on and put in motion that other company in another country where it makes sense. I don't think y'all heard what I said. It don't mean we coming down to doing business in this country. It just means we're gonna be doing both. But people don't hear that. When you start looking at these prices on what it's gonna cost you based off of anything that weighs over $800, anything that's cost more than $800, it's gonna make you make a different decision. And if you don't, you're going out of business. But there are some businesses, not some, a lot of business, they're gonna pay that fee, y'all, because they know y'all want it. So guess who's gonna get hit with that extra money? You. You upset right now about eggs costing you $12? What you gonna do when a carton of eggs costs you $30? You tripping right now because the iPhone costing you $1,200 to $1,500? What you gonna do when it costs you $3,000 for an iPhone? And then you gotta upgrade because it ain't compatible no more. You know how they go out of style. What you gonna do? You still didn't get no raise on your job. And in your performance review, where you did get a raise, it was 3%. Imagine they gave you an extra 75 cents an hour. All I'm saying is, when you know better, you do better. And I'm not telling you something you haven't been through in your lifetime. Everybody on this live, whether you're a business owner or employee, we all have been through this stuff at least once in our lifetime. And the reason why I'm saying at least once, because I know we all older than the age of 21 for the most part. We probably got some 18 years old in here, that might be, but they still ain't slipped through the crack. They lived through a pandemic. You understand how this stuff is gonna go. And if you on your job, is this the job that you had before the pandemic happened? Or you got a new job since the pandemic? If you on your job, did you watch people get laid off in the process? Or were you one of the people that got laid off? If you were a business owner during that time, did you have to shut down your doors? Because nobody couldn't be around each other for a few weeks, couple weeks? Unless you had a piece of paper saying you was a essential worker. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'm on my lemonade milk today. The scary part about all this is, during times like this is when people build wealth. This is when the people build wealth. I can't make this up if I wanted to. This is the time when wealth is built. And what we're seeing is a transfer of wealth right now, y'all. And I see it crystal clear. Had a meeting with my team this morning, and we ironed out some other stuff. We had already started planning for it because I kind of figured it was going to come last year during the election. When I was looking at the election stuff, I kind of figured that, yeah, we're going to go into this. It didn't matter who were going in office. I already knew this is something that we were going to go into because it was kind of interesting how everything was laying out. So me and my team been talked about it this morning, just confirmed us. Hey, y'all, it's on. We got to do this. We're going to go ahead and start pivoting now because we already know. Worst case scenario, nothing changes and we continue as normal. But if it does change, we got a contingency plan in place. You can't be in fear as a grown person anymore, y'all. You can't keep using that as an excuse. You can't. You got to figure out how and what is really your why. Because if you're in fear at your job, your why ain't strong enough. If you have all these ideas and all these gifts and these different talents that you could be using that you're not using because you're afraid and you're in fear, your why is not strong enough. You need to go back to that little book, what you've been writing stuff down in, and go back in there and look at that why and understand if that's not the why that you're doing it, erase it out the book and put your real why in the book. Because once you start working for your last name and not your first, and you identify your why, there is no more fear. All that stuff is removed because the reality of it is you can't afford to be in fear. Most people are 30 days away from being homeless. Most people. It don't matter if you got a job, don't matter if you got a business. Most people are 30 days away from being homeless. A bad hiccup would break you. And I don't think people take that seriously enough because people believe that everything gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be okay. I ain't gonna worry about it too much. What it's gonna be is what it's gonna be. I done survived it. And that's the part that's crazy, y'all. That's the part that you gotta get over. The scarier part about all this, the benefit of you looking at your why, making sure it's the reason why you really want to do what you want to do, and moving past fear, greatness is on the other side. When these things transpire, you're not panicking. You know how many people going up and down social media right now talking about how you've been buying all this stuff that you thought was real and you done spent all this money is coming from the same place that the fake stuff come from? We ain't gonna dig into that because I don't want no smoke. But just understand it's a distraction. It's a flat out distraction. All these different things that's making headline to get you to get stuck on something so it can be just constantly fed to you. It's just a distraction. It's a flat out distraction, and there's no other way around it. You don't understand that that's the reason why when you get on social media, when you look at one thing or you like one thing, every time you turn around, you're seeing the same thing. They know what you're being distracted by. And being that they know what you're being distracted by, they keep feeding it to you to keep you distracted. But I don't want no smoke. This is a safe place. I'm just showing love. Everybody welcome. I'm just showing love. I promise you, I'm just showing love. Trying to get you to see something different. You can't keep living in fear and being distracted in the process. You're going to lose. You're going to lose terribly. Terribly, you're going to lose. My homeboy who is I don't even know what to call that joker, a PhD, element of P, every letter you can think of behind his name. He telling me the same stuff that I be hearing when I get on social media. He don't like his job. He want to do something different, but the timing got to be right. And I asked that joker today. I said, man, have you mapped out everything you want to map out? Yeah, man, I done mapped it out, man, but you know, timing just ain't right. I was like, well, ain't no better time than the present. Like, yeah, man, but you know, I got some other stuff I got to take care of and blah, blah. If you got all this stuff you got to take care of, you haven't mapped everything out. Not even close. When you say map everything out, what do you mean? How much money is it going to take you for you not to worry about you having a job anymore? And don't give me a ridiculous number, sir. Give me something tangible, real life. What number is it going to take you every single month that you have to have for you to leave your job? His first thought, man, if I was making like $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a month, boy, I can leave my job. I was like, you got $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a month worth of bills? No, man, but I know I'd be comfortable at that point. But if you don't have $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 worth of bills every single month, why are you giving yourself a ridiculous number that puts you in a position to never leave your job? Say 5 times the amount, 5K? He was like, so, but that's what you did. I said, yeah, because even though I was on my grind, I gave myself a ridiculous number for that reason. That's the reason why I'm telling you. If you find something that can produce for you what your job is producing, it's covering your bills like it's supposed to every single month, like your job doing, and it's covering your benefits the same way like you think your job is doing. That's enough. Because once you get out there and you're doing that, you're only going to increase that number because you're going to have more time to think. You out here talking about $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a month, and you barely make $4,000 a month. Go find you a job or get your business started and running. Make you about $6,000, $7,000 a month. That's enough to cover all your bills and all your insurance, everything you need to cover, and then go from there. Once you get out there and you no longer have that job, you're not going to be lazy because you know this is how you eat. It's going to force you. Motivation is one thing. It's not going to sustain you. You need something pulling you like gravity. It's almost scary to even think how many excuses people give themselves to be great. I can't be great. Ooh, if I become great, man, I don't want all that attention, all the extra time on my hand. I don't know what I would do. If I get all that money, man, I don't want to become evil. If you become evil, when you get a whole bunch of money, you were already evil before you got it. And there's no such thing as too much time on your hand. Because if you're a good person and a law-abiding citizen, you're going to become very dangerous if you get a lot of time on your hand. It's going to give you time to figure out how to improve your business, your family life, the whole 9 yards. Think. And this is where the rubber meets the road, y'all. But right now, today, April 14th, 2025, if you don't take advantage of these opportunities today, depending on how old you are, you may never get this chance ever again in life. You might not never see this opportunity ever again in life. Ever. There are a lot of things where things are being tied back up now. Some of the things and some of the information that's relatively out there for you that you can make these different moves to build wealth for your bloodline. I'm seeing a lot of different changes that are happening, and they're closing the window for you for just the average person getting it. And I can't be mad at them because they got to be a low percentage of wealthy people and a high percentage of poor people on this planet. Everybody can't be wealthy. Because if everybody was wealthy, it would throw off the dynamics. You think that some places got food shortages right now? If everybody was wealthy, wouldn't be no food. And me understanding that, it's like, all right, well, let me go on and get my bloodline in the dough. Let me go on and finish and secure my bloodline to make sure everybody in my bloodline is good. Whoever the door closes on, that's who it's going to close on. It just is what it is. And I can't be mad about it because you decided not to get into it because you were scared. You decided to stay in the I can't even say that without laughing. Let me sip my lemonade milk. You got to start taking advantage of these things, y'all. They're not coming around again. It ain't too often you're going to have people come around and continue to give pep talks about it either. It ain't going to happen. A lot of people that I'm seeing that's starting to pivot, they're pivoting to straight selling their products and their services to you, period. They're not going to take the time to explain these different things because you're grown. And if you don't know, you just don't know. So I'm probably going to say this again for the last time. If you scared, go to church. If you in fear, read a book. If you're gonna complain about where you at in your life and what you're doing, nobody wants to hear it. Don't nobody care. In fact, they hope you stay there. When I created Zabo103TV.com, I created that platform for people that want to take action. And when I created that platform for people that were out there like me, like I was. Scared, didn't know what to do, willing to try almost anything, and just couldn't find no opening nowhere because nobody was giving any information out. Nobody was even talking about these things. I created that platform so that people that wanted the information they could no longer say the wealthy people ain't gatekeeping. They couldn't say that no more. They gatekeeping. You can't say that. You can't say that at all. Because the reality of it is the only people that are gatekeeping is you. You're keeping yourself out of the gate because you're refusing to take action with the information that you get. Now, I know I didn't got on here for the last, 35 minutes now and kind of give y'all a little bit of a lecture. I apologize, but I had it on my heart and I had to say it. I'm never going to talk about it again. Not that. Because some things people just have to be shown. They just have to wait till it happens. They be like, oh, I heard the such and such talking about that. Man, I should have jumped on it at that time, man. Man, I wish I could have did that during that time, man. You can stay in the wish mode. Well, I'm never going to talk about it again. Just remember what I said. This might be it. This might be the last opportunity that you have to change your life before that door is closed. So with that being said, let's get into my normal live stuff, y'all. I appreciate y'all tapping in with your boy. If you're new to my live, put a 1 in the chat. If you've been here with me for the last 138 weeks straight, put a 2 in the chat. Let's see who we got up in here. We're going to dig into it. This replay will be up on YouTube at Zabo103. It also will be on Zabian Gibson on Facebook. It'll be at Zabo103 on Instagram as well. The only verified Zabo103. So definitely. I'm going to let this post up so people can review it for the ones that missed it, because I know that some people need to hear it. Put a 3 if you're in the network. I know that's right. Network people in the building. Shout out to y'all. For sure. And for those that ain't in the network, Zabo103 TV, we going up again. I know a lot of people missed the live this morning on the network. We had people in and out because I know people was busy working, doing their business, whatever. But we're going to be live in the morning on the network at Zabo103TV.com. The link is in the bio, by the way, y'all, if you're not already over there. But we're going to be live in the morning back at Property 29, as long as the weather permit. That septic tank and the draining system going in the morning. Don't worry about it. If you missed it, the replay is up from the live on the network. It is on the network at Zabo103TV.com. Definitely can go tap in over there for sure. But we'll be live in the morning on Zabo103TV.com. I want to say at 10 a.m. we should be live in the morning on the network. And y'all know the service down there be nervous. but we're not gonna worry about it. All of it's getting recorded, so you don't have to worry about it. If you miss it for any reason, you'll be able to go back and watch that as well on the network. Only at Zabo103TV.com. To all my people on the network, again, shout out to the law-abiding citizens. I appreciate y'all for sure. For the people you've been on my live more than once, shout out to y'all for continuing to tap in. For my new people on the live, welcome. You may have been sent to me from somebody that said, hey, you should go check old boy out. Oh man, you should tap in with them. Or I just came across your what do you call it? Your For You page. I guess that's what they call it. I don't know what they call it. Whatever they call it. You came across my page somehow and you're like, hey, it might seem a little interesting. Let me see what this knucklehead talking about. So I get up in here, y'all, and I really just try to provoke thought. It ain't nothing over complicated about what I talk about. Other than most people, a lot of people don't know how to connect dots. I figured out how to connect the dots. And I think that's the difference between an ignorant dude like myself popping up on social media talking about these things and some well articulated person that ain't doing none of this stuff that they be talking about. They just be the most articulate person on the planet and ain't never did one thing that they telling y'all to do. And my little ignorant self get up on here. And when I get up on here, I just talk about the things I've done, talk about things that I've witnessed firsthand, and talk about things that I'm currently doing. Because that way I'm safe. Anytime somebody say you can't do these things, I'm like, well, how did I do it? You can't build 29 homes out your own pocket cash, bro. How did I do it? Since you know, I'm telling you how I did it. But since you know, tell me how I did it. Man, you talking about you got 347 and a half acres of land, no loans. You can't buy that much land. How did I do it? Man, you just showing people land anywhere. I took the people to closings with me so they can see me buy the land. I took them to the closing, y'all. I took the whole social media platform with me and went live at the closing and set my phone down in front of the closing table so you can see me in there buying land. And even showed you the paperwork to show that it was real. You can't go out and buy no vehicle up under your business. Well, how did I do it? I went live and showed the people. You're going to have a car note. How am I have a car note? What are you talking about? The business bought the vehicle, cash. That's a depreciate asset. I know. This is the reason why the IRS gives you the access to do a write-off if it meets those stipulations. Duh. But I know people just be talking. That's what they do. So no matter if you are on the network, you've been on my live more than once, and you're not on the network yet, or you're just joining my live, I appreciate y'all tapping in with your boy. We're going to dive in a little bit sooner than what we do since I did my little 30-minute, I don't know, I guess a monologue. That's what we're going to call it at this point. My little 30-minute session. We're going to dive into a scenario. We're going to create a scenario quickly tonight because I don't want to be on too long. I got to be up early, which is still my bedtime for the most part. But I got to be up super early tomorrow morning to get down to property number 29. So I'll be live down there in the morning. What up, Mr. Davis? What's up, family? So I got to be live down there tomorrow morning pretty early. So I don't want to be on live all night tonight. It ain't gonna make sense. So let's dive into a scenario and let's move from there. I think most people because I didn't see that we had a bunch of people that were new on the live, so that's cool. But most people have heard, some of the basic stuff to get them to understand, meaning that one, they shouldn't be using money personally for anything. Money is only supposed to be used for public use and private use. So if you do understand that money is not supposed to be used personally, right, and only supposed to be used for public use and private use, if you do understand that, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't understand that, put a 2 in the chat. What up, what up, what up? Okay. We got a lot of people that understand that. Look at these other platforms, see where we at. Okay, Dr. T. Shout out to you again, Edward. Appreciate you tapping back in. Instagram, how y'all looking? I think we should be good on Instagram. Most of the people that's over here, they've been on my live more than once. They understand. So for the people that don't understand, because it's not a lot of people, it's only a couple of people that don't understand when I'm looking at all these platforms. Nah, you can't have none of my strawberry milk, family. I ain't drinking strawberry milk today. I'm drinking lemonade milk today. But just to make it, because I know we don't have that many people that don't understand that. Just to make it plain and simple, money was put in a place in the United States of America as the bartering system that ain't really backed by none, y'all. If we're being honest, and I don't want to say too much about it because again, I know these platforms get a little sensitive, right? What we think we're using money for personally, ultimately it's only personal because you haven't been set up to operate in public or in private. If you were put in a position to operate in public and in private, you will understand how to operate in public and in private. And then when you look at your money, when you see things on your money like this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private, it'll click. I'm gonna say that one more time. If you were set up to operate in public and in private and not just operate personally, you will understand when you see on your money in fine print on the front, it says this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. It don't mention nothing about personal. It'll click. But if you're not set up that way to operate that way, it's never really going to make sense to you. And you can pull your money out right now. If you have a United States of America currency, you can pull your money out right now and see exactly what I just said. It's on your money. Those instructions have been there your whole life. But nobody ever takes the time to pay attention because in this business called the United States of America, no one ever reads. Think about that. And that's where it gets interesting because you'll have so many people reaching for this thing and then be upset that they can't get to what they're reaching. And it's because they're not following the instruction. And that's where the rubber meets the road. Then you have these other group of people that are regurgitating everything that they didn't heard. And they ain't done none of these things they didn't heard. They just heard it and they just regurgitating it, almost like a parrot. So you have to unlearn this thing that you've learned your whole life, and that's where it gets difficult. But you got to set up yourself publicly and privately. If it's public, it goes in a business. If it's private, it goes in a trust. It's never personal, it's just business. Or should I say, it's never personal, it's just public. It's never personal, private. Think. And we've heard the term loosely, right? I think everybody that heard the term is not personal, it's just business. Or people say, but that's a private matter. You've heard these terms before. These are not something that you haven't heard probably your whole life. But again, you don't understand what's being said. Because even though you might speak English, your comprehension of the English language may not be up to par so that these different things will click. I'll give you a perfect example. Most people think when they pay their property tax, they pay it to the county, right? They don't understand there's a person in their city that they pay their property taxes to. They don't have a clue. And when you say it, people be like, nope, I go to the tax assessor office and I pay my property tax, and I have to say, well, who gets the budget? The city. Who gets the budget? The city. There's a person in your city that owns that city. Flat out. Well, it got to be the mayor. Sure, I guess you can call it the mayor technically, but there's a person like Miss E out of Nebraska. God rest her soul. Owned the smallest city in America, 134 acres of land. God rest her soul. You can go to BBC News and check out her article. She was paying taxes to herself. She paid it to the county, and the county gave her the budget. Well, that's because she had that land so many years ago, and when she got that land so many years ago, it just been accessing. Miss E was 88 years old. Yeah, that's kind of right. But you know you can own a city if you got 50 acres, right? As long as it's all in one place, you can make that happen. Nothing stops it. Black Wall Street was 40 acres of land. If we're being honest, but people don't hear that. Let's come to some stuff that's recent because we still in ancient time. The day of the election, November the 6th. I can't remember what state it was, but there was a city, and I want to say it was up in Maine. And these people, it was 6 of them that owned the city. Election day, during the election, they aired it on the news where these 6 people voted in their city for who they wanted to be in office. 3 people voted for Trump. 3 people voted for Harris. Those 6 people own their own city, and they pay their own taxes to themselves. Property taxes, people. People didn't see that. I witnessed it. If y'all saw that during election day, put a 3 in the chat. Maybe it was just me, the only person that saw that. Maybe other people didn't see that. But these are the things that you can't unsee once you've seen these different things that I be sharing. There's no way you can unsee this stuff again once you just saw it. And that's what's wild. It's almost a scary thought. No. You have to go through a lot of red tape to get approved to own your own city. Like, I'll give you an example. Miss E owned 134 acres of land in one spot, right? I own 347 and a half acres of land. I got one spot that got 110 acres of land in one spot. I could own my own city there. I got another spot that's carved out right at 100 acres. And I'm in the process of trying to own my own city. We're going to see what's going to happen. I don't know. I'm going to keep y'all posted because when it get approved one day, I'm hoping get approved before I leave this planet. When it get approved for me to own my own city, I'm going to invite y'all there. It's going to have housing there, schools, churches, entertainment, food, schools, hospitals, everything that you got in your city is going to be in my city. Banks, the whole 9 yards. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. But these are things that you're not going to see if you stay stuck in what you was trained to do. Do you know exactly what you'll be doing with all of it? Well, some of the things they all got different things that are happening. 100%. They all got different things. Like I said, I got 100 acres of pecan trees planted. I got land with cell phone towers on it. I got land with this on it. I almost slipped up and said the word. I can't say that. We're working on the city. We got a lot of stuff popping. The goal is, right? The goal is to figure out every tree that's on every acre of land that I have control of, which person in my bloodline is going to feed. That's the goal. And we still playing Monopoly, y'all. I'm still running around looking for land today. I'm still having my broker send me stuff every single day. See a piece of land. I got the cash. I got the money to buy it. It's available for sale. I'm buying it. Because I know you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it. And before I leave this planet, I will acquire 100,000 acres of land before I leave this planet. And that's not a lot of land. It's a lot of land. Don't get me wrong. It's a ton of freaking land. But compared to some of the big dogs, them big dogs be going crazy, man. Like Ted Turner with 2.2 million acres of land in the United States of America. Woof. I'm hoping at some point I can get there. I'm gonna do everything in my power to make that happen. That's what I want it to be. But before I leave this planet, minimally going to acquire 100,000 acres of land to make sure that as long as my bloodline in existence, they will always have a head start on life. It will never fail them. Period. It don't matter what happened to the dollar. It doesn't matter if the currency change all the way. It don't matter if we start doing other different, long as you got a piece of that rock, your family always gonna have a head start on life. And it's almost scary to really think about it. It's almost unreal to kind of pull that layer back. So with that being said, we're gonna get into a scenario. Y'all tell me, we can go through whatever scenario I want. Y'all create it. Doesn't matter to me. We'll come up with anything. We didn't talk about every scenario you can think about at this point, at every level, from you making 100 grand all the way down to you being homeless. Should we start off by buying 1 or 2 acres? You should buy as much land as you can afford. What do I mean by that? We need to do an older person. All right, that's a bet. We can do an older person. Give me an age. Yeah, you can buy as much as you can afford. Like, don't be in fear about it. Again, you can't necessarily 55. All right, 55, what we'll use. You can't really be in fear about the amount of land that you buy. I know it's kind of scary, but remember, you can't go wrong with it. And the reason why you can't go wrong with it, at the very worst case scenario, you can't do nothing with it. Remember, the land value is going to go up. Even if you had to break down and sell it. Say you bought it today, like, man, I really messed up. You can at least get what you paid for it. You say, I'm selling it tomorrow. I paid cash for it. I'm selling it tomorrow. You can get what you pay for it. Because land only goes up in value. You get it? So the thing that I would tell you, probably more than how many acres to purchase, I would tell you do your research on it, because you got to have in mind what you're going to do with that property. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to be building homes on it, you want to make sure them lots are buildable. If you want to start selling timber on the land, you want to make sure you got timber on it. And if you don't, you need to understand what it's going to cost you to plant it. Whatever it is you're going to do with the land, you got to have that in mind before you purchase it. So you need to come up with what you want to do with the land, and then start doing your due diligence, so you don't have to waste as much time in the work part of the process, as far as in getting it to the place to generate whatever income you want it to generate based off of what you want to do. Hopefully that makes sense. So we're doing 55 years old. What else? What else we got going on? Y'all keep going. Got good credit, bad credit, good health, bad health. We can do that since we're saying older. Income, kind of income I'm making at 55. At a 55-year-old man, that's prime time for real. 55-year-old men, they be getting it. So they be pretty established for the most. They should be anyway. So this might be easier than you think. What's the best site to search for land? I don't think they're really a best site, because all of them got the same stuff. You can go to LandWatch, Zillow, LoopNet, Trulia. The easiest thing for you to do, I ain't gonna say it's the best because it's still the same stuff, is reach out to a broker or agent that specializes in land. Tell them how much money you have and what's the minimum amount of acres you're looking for per that dollar amount, and tell them to send you everything in your state, and they'll send it to you for free. And then you can skim through what's out there for sale and start to make a difference. Expired credit under 550. I'm gonna say I got a 300 credit score, no life insurance policy. All right, cool. We can use that. I don't have no life insurance policy yet. Okay, keep that in mind. I ain't got no life insurance policy yet. Heavy in credit card debt. We can. So heavy in credit card debt that he's paying every single year, or heavy in credit card debt that he's not paying. That makes a difference. So y'all tell me, do y'all want me to yes to which part? So do I got a 650 credit score with credit card debt, or I got a 300 credit score with credit card debt? Pre-existing condition? Okay, we can do that. That's cool. Not what? Again, it's not gonna matter scenario, y'all. I'm telling you, it's not gonna matter. Not paying 300 credit score. All right, bet we can do that. All right, so he got a 300 credit score, so he ain't paying nothing. So he got horrible credit, bad health, got some pre-existing conditions. He's 55 years old. Do he got kids, or he don't have kids? Is he married? Is he single? Like, y'all paint the picture for me, so we can go on and get this party started. I want to make sure we all on the same page. 4 kids. Okay, that's cool. 55 years old. How old these kids are? And 55, how old these kids are? You know, he could be like Abraham or something. I don't know. You know, had kids forever. Somebody said 4 kids already, so we're gonna roll with the 4 kids. You know, if you got 2 kids, that's a blessing. Married, okay, cool. And his young wife won't listen. Okay, so she said he married and his young wife won't listen to him. So his kid is 25, 21, 13, and 6. All right, so his youngest is 6 years old. Oldest 25. All right, bet we can roll with that. And then he got a young wife. When you say young wife, how old is this young wife? Because I got a 25-year-old, that might pose another problem. I might pose another problem. I can roll with that. The wife 35. Okay. So she's 10 years older than my oldest. Okay. That could be a little bit of an issue, but we'll work through it. We'll work through it. My oldest could have some resentment towards me. What else? How much money I'm making in a year? Nobody put that in there yet. How much money I'm making in a year? I got a young wife. I got to be making something. I got a young wife. I'm about to say 35 a year ain't gonna work. I mean, I can make it work, but that ain't gonna work. 35 a year with a young wife. I ain't paying no bills. She wouldn't have been with me no way. 80 grand a year. Okay. It ain't really gonna matter, but I mean, whatever we go with is what we go with. I'm gonna say if I'm gonna make this realistic, I'm gonna say I'm probably making somewhere around 80 grand, just because for me to have a young wife that's not listening to me at all, me to have these kids and I got bad credit, right? It sounds like I made a horrible decision with this young wife and I just fed her habits and stopped paying my bills. And that's why I'm in all this credit card debt. She done ran me to debt. Woo! So 80 a year, 300 credit score, married, wife 36 years old. I'm 55. She won't listen to me because I ain't got no more enough money to really make her listen to me no more. It was good at the beginning. I got 4 kids. My oldest kid is 25. My youngest kid is 6, and I'm assuming my youngest is by my wife. Just we put that in perspective. So my youngest is by my wife. So there's that. My other 3 kids, my oldest is by somebody else, and my other 2 kids, they by one person. So I got 2 baby mamas and a wife. About to be 3 baby mamas if she don't want to listen to me. But we gonna get our act together because it seems like the right thing to do. So if I was in that situation, what would I do? Right? Let's say my oldest, who's 25, is a girl. She don't really care for the decision that I made by being with a woman so young. She don't like it. So she don't really talk to me much. Let's start there. Okay. Hopefully that's fair, right? My other 2 kids, I got 1 girl and 3 boys. My 2 kids with my ex, I get them, whenever their mom allow me to get them. I still pay child support, obviously, no matter if I'm forced or not, I'm still paying child support. And my youngest son lived with us, me and my wife, because it's our son. Okay. For me, being that I got a pre-existing condition, I'm going to have to get creative, very creative. Okay. What I would do, the first thing I would do is I would go and I would fix my credit. And y'all didn't heard this 100 times, so I'm not going to stay on this too long. But there's a company called LexisNexis that houses all your information. Y'all put it in the chat. On YouTube and Facebook, y'all should see it scrolling. LexisNexis is a company that houses all your information. So I'm going to reach out to LexisNexis, y'all. reach out to LexisNexis. I'm going to tell them to freeze my Clue report in my personal file. Clue, C-L-U-E, personal file. They're going to try to upsell me on some extra privacy. I can't afford it. Just freeze my Clue report in my personal file. They're going to send me out a PIN number. They're going to tell me it's going to take about 3 days for me to get it. But once I get it, I can unfreeze and freeze my Clue report in my personal file at any time. I'll politely say, thank you very much. And I'm going to hang it up and I'm going to wait those 3 days. But while I'm waiting on those 3 days, I'm going to go and have a conversation with my wife. And I'm going to be straight up, real, honest as possible. I'm going to tell her, no matter if the reasons that we wind up getting together and getting married were for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, we're here. And I know regardless of what the situation is, we both want what's best for our son. And being that we want what's best for our son, I have came up with a plan, even though you might not want to listen to me and abide by it. The job that you have today, you just shop and do all the stuff you want to do, and that's okay. You're going to be able to continue to do that. But it's going to be important that our son see his mom and his dad together, because at some point we had to fall in love. And that's how we got here. Because you just didn't have a kid with me and marry me because I wasn't making a whole bunch of money. But you were able to maintain whatever lifestyle you wanted to create. And you're still young. There's nothing wrong with that. I believe you should continue to create the lifestyle you want to create. So what I'm going to do is I'm telling you flat out, our life is going to change drastically. If you want to jump off board right now, is your time. Because if you try to jump off board once our life change, it's going to be ugly. And I don't want you to jump off board. I want you to stay right here so we can go ahead and build together. And maybe you outlive me and you can reap the benefits and marry somebody your age once I'm gone. I'm just an old little cat daddy. I don't care. Robbing the cradle. Such a creep. But that's a different conversation, right? But what I'm gonna do is this plan that I got is gonna put you in a position where you never have to work ever again in life. It's gonna take us some time, but it's gonna be worth it. And she's gonna say, well, how much time is it gonna be? And I'm gonna tell her about 10 years. 10 years? Ain't nobody got 10 years to be waiting on no plan. Look, we together. Like I told you, if you want to jump off board, you can jump off right now. This is probably the best time for you to do it. Because if you don't jump off board right now, when this stuff change, you ain't gonna want to jump off board. I guarantee it. And I've been around the block a couple of times and I done seen some things. I know this plan gonna work. And you know what she gonna say? All right, I still ain't paying no bills. I ain't got, you're gonna have to figure that out. I ain't asked you to pay no bills at all. She's gonna say, all right, bet. That's day one of me waiting on my PIN number. Day two, I'm gonna go downtown. I'm going to apply for my business license. And when I apply for my business license, I know I got to take that test and pass. I'm also going to be looking for me a licensed builder to work up under for free, so that I can become a builder license in 2 years. Watch this. That's day two. Day three, I just got my PIN number. Ding, 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 ding. Once I get that PIN number, I'm going to reach out to Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, and I'm going to start disputing. That's not my address. Those are not my accounts. Validate this debt. I know they got 30 days to verify that information. I also know they're going to reach out to LexisNexis to verify that information. I also know, being that my clue report and my personal file is frozen, nothing's coming back. We all know what happened when nothing comes back, right? It's coming off my credit, and it's free. Just check that credit box. I'm not gonna go and reach out to NACA because I'm not even gonna waste my time. I got a different plan because I'm up in age. I got to do some different stuff. Plus, I don't plan on moving my kid and my wife out of this house into no NACA home because she don't want to move, and I don't want to rock the boat. She ain't gonna listen, and I can't move over there and rent the property, my house out because she ain't trying to move. I'm like, dang, why did I get this little young whippersnapper? She just running me crazy, man, and I can't get rid of her. It's gonna cost me too much money. Can't get rid of the little crumb snatcher. So what am I gonna do with my $80,000? Remember, boys and girls, it hasn't changed. My money's only going to 3 places: basic living expenses, the biggest whole life insurance policy I can afford, and land. Watch this. Now, I know I got a pre-existing condition, and if I go take these tests, they're not approving me for nothing. Flat out. So what do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go get me, I don't know, $1.5 million, $1.6 million, $1.7 million term life insurance policy, because I know they ain't gonna run no tests on me. They might do a little checking, but they ain't gonna care because it doesn't have a living benefit. I'm just paying into a policy if I pass away. And when I get that policy, they ain't gonna make it for no 30 years, no 20 years. They're gonna like, we can give you a term policy for 5 years. I'm like, I bet, I'll take it. I'll take that term policy for $1.6 million and pay them $175 a month. Absolutely will. They not doing no testing. They ain't doing none of that. It don't even matter to them because I'm just throwing away money at this point. Once I get that term policy, it's approved and it's on the book. My net worth is $1.6 million. About to be off to the races. This is gonna get scary. And in the meantime, I'm gonna get off all these high blood pressure pills and all this stuff, man. I gotta get off this medicine. So I'm gonna start working out. I'm gonna start fasting. 1 meal a day for me. I'm not eating nothing that got a whole bunch of carbs in it. I ain't playing around because I gotta get back right. I gotta be around. I can't let her outlive me. She get out, if she mess around and get everything before I get everything in place, boy, my son gonna be in trouble. What about the rest of my kids? Whoo! Because this chick won't listen. I didn't waited a few days. I didn't got approved for this term policy. $1.6 million. What do you think I'm gonna do at this point? I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go get a $800,000 policy. It's probably gonna be way more than that, but an $800,000 policy is what I'm gonna get on my son whole life. And the only stipulation is that my policy gotta be double the amount of his. And since I got a $1.6 million term policy, and there's no stipulation on what type of policy I gotta have for it to be double, I'm gonna get him an $800,000 whole life insurance policy. And since I got the policy for him, I control it. So the same thing I would be doing if it was my own, I can do it through my son. Uh-oh. So what do you think is gonna happen, boys and girls? I'ma politely take my whole $80,000 and run it through my son's whole life insurance policy. I have them structure it where I can borrow from it every 30 days. So every paycheck I get is going inside that policy first. Instead of me running it through my checking account only, is running through my life insurance policy. That whole life insurance policy that I'm the owner of my son, has a living benefit and a death benefit. The only thing is the death benefit is on him. But I control what loans come out on this policy, who the beneficiary is on this policy, the whole 9 yards. This is going to get crazy. It's going to absolutely get crazy. When my son, my youngest, turned 18 years old, guess what's going to happen, boys and girls? He's going to have the ability, not 18, I'm going to make it to where when he turns 21, he's going to have the ability to do any, actually 18. When he turns 18, he's going to have the ability to do what he wants to do with that policy. I don't care. But I am going to maneuver it to where he understands everything so he don't just blow it. And he don't fall into the same trouble like I fell in with his mama. He got his mama all situated. I'm happy that I got her because he wouldn't be here without her, and she won't listen. He gonna get him a woman that's his age, that she gonna listen. So I'm gonna run that full $80,000 a year into my son whole life insurance policy. Check that box. Why get him the policy? I can't get it. Being that I'm gonna get him the policy, it's his policy. I'm only doing it for him and the rest of the kids. I'm gonna train him to where he's gonna understand. He ain't gonna miss a beat because he's never gonna have to work for nobody else for the rest of his life. And number two, with this process that you know gonna be the outcome already, it ain't gonna matter if you decide to do whatever you want to do with that policy. He decided to take more loans off of it. I'll explain. Don't worry. We're gonna get there. So that whole $80,000 is gonna run through the life insurance policy. I'll be borrowing from it every month and paying it back every month. It'll still be getting compound interest daily, tax-free, with me paying interest back to it, to myself. The other money is only going to 2 other places. That means I got 80 grand to play with every single year, even after I got these policies. Well, the one policy, my son policy. My policy, I'm just throwing money away. I don't care. So as I borrow that 80 grand back from that policy, my money's only going to 2 places after that. $50,000 a year is going towards basic living expenses. Not a penny more, not a penny less. That's going to cover all my bills that I have. Gonna cover my child support, and my wife can do everything she want to do with her money that she's doing with her money. And I'll still have money left over to do a couple of gifts for all my kids and do a gift for my little young wife every now and then throughout the year. If you have grown kids, you still can do the same thing with your grown kids. As long as y'all have that conversation, it ain't gonna matter. Whoever buys the policy is the person paying for it. It's just your policy got to be double. You get it? If your kids don't have a good condition when it comes to their health, and you got grandkids, you can put policy on your grandkids 100%. Nothing stops it. Obviously, the parents got to be okay with it, but if the parents okay with it, as long as your policies double your grandkids, that's even better. Why? The younger, the better rate you're going to get on that policy. You get it? So the process still works the same way. Watch this. 50 grand is going into basic living expenses. That's going to leave me with $30,000. Where's that $30,000 going, y'all? I'm going to get me 6 acres of land. 6 every year. And that's going to be my process. 80,000 going to run through that whole life insurance policy of my son. 50,000 going to run through of basic living expenses, $30,000 gonna buy 6 acres of land. And I'm gonna do this process for the next 10 years. This is gonna get crazy. Crazy. By year 10, I'll be a licensed builder. Haven't used no credit. Haven't done no loans. Haven't partnered with nobody, but I am a licensed builder. I've been putting 80,000 going through my son whole life insurance policy every single year that's been getting compound interest daily, tax-free, that I've been borrowing against and paying myself back with interest. I will easily in year 10 have $1 million in that policy. If my son is 6, right? If my son is 6, he's 16 by that time. He still ain't doing that with that policy. Because he ain't got access yet. I got 2 years to play before he can do whatever he want to do. And I'm okay with that. My basic living expenses of 50 grand a year has been covered. Out of the 30 grand that's left over, I will be spending that on 6 acres of land. If I do 6 acres of land for 10 years, I will own 60 acres of land by year 10. With 60 acres of land that I own or I control in year 10, a licensed builder, and $1 million that I can borrow from my whole life insurance policy, this is going to get crazy. The process is simple. Out of the 60 acres that I own, I'm going to take 5 acres. I'm going to take that $1 million, $200,000 a piece, and build me a duplex on each acre of those 5 acres. If I take the 200 grand and build a duplex, the value of that property is usually going to be around double or a little bit more. So I'm going to say they 400 grand a piece. So out the gate, I got 5 properties, duplexes, that are worth 400 grand a piece. That means if you haven't done the math, I got $2 million of equity in these properties. They're free and clear. They duplexes, 30 to 45 minutes outside of the major city. I'm going to rent them out. If I break the mortgage payment down for one duplex, that's $400,000. I go to the bank after I rent them out 10 years from now, not today. So if you're paying in Georgia for that $2,000, in 10 years, there'll be $4,000 a piece. But in my world, there'll be 3 grand a piece. 3 grand on the left, 3 grand on the right. Because I'm not becoming a landlord today. I'm not becoming a landlord for 10 years. In 10 years, I'll be 65 years old. It's time to retire anyway, right? That's what they say. So what do you think I'm going to do? Go get them mortgages, 400 grand a piece. Each of those mortgages is going to cost me $3,000. $3,000 times 5, that's 15 grand a month on those 5 properties. Both of those, all those duplex rent out 3 grand each on each side. That's 6 grand for each duplex. That means I'm going to have $30,000 for the rental. 15 grand is going to the mortgage. 15 grand is going to be left over. That 15 grand ain't going to be taxed out the gate because you got to get a return on your capital first because you had to put 20% down on each of those properties and you did it in equity. That means if the property is 400 grand, you got $80,000 in equity in that property, and the bank gave you $320 million, no, $320,000 tax free. That your tenant paying back. Think about what I just said. The bank just gave you $320,000 tax free per duplex. If I got 5 duplexes times $320,000, if you haven't done the math yet, that's what? $1.6 million tax free. And 15 grand a month. That's after the mortgage is paid. This is from a person that was 55 years old, 4 kids, a young wife that was 35 years old that didn't listen, 300 credit score, pre-existing health conditions. At this point, the wife ain't going nowhere. She just waiting for me to leave this planet because she think that she gonna get it all, and she don't have a clue. Because when that happens, guess what I'm gonna do? I ain't leaving her. I'm gonna go set up these trusts in different layers. And all the trusts that we have, even though I'm going to be the guarantor, right, of it, right? The beneficiary gonna be my great grandkids who I ain't never gonna meet. My kids ain't never gonna meet them. With clear instructions. The beneficiary of all the life insurance policies at this point, even on my son, is gonna be a different trust. Now, my son policy, his beneficiary will be a trust that I create for him. So that $1 million that I borrowed from his policy, I'm paying it back 100%. And he's gonna understand the process so he can do whatever he want to do. He's not gonna go out here and just be rogue. He's 6. He listen to everything Pawpaw saying. You get it? He gonna be well versed by the time he turn 18. But that ain't the end of it. I'm gonna pay that $1 million back, sure. If I paid the $1 million back right away on his policy, I can do that if I wanted to, but I wouldn't. I'll just keep making payments, right? To get that compound interest daily tax free and benefit for the extra cash that I'm putting in there on top of the interest. So he can be fully set. I might mess around and get him another policy just because I got to have him on a different system. What do you think I'm going to do after that? I got 60 acres, I only did it 5 times. That means I got to do this another 55 more times. If I do this a total of 60 times, I'm gonna get $320 every duplex. That's the extra $120,000 every single time. Off of 60 times that I'm doing this, that's $7.2 million tax free. Nobody hears this. $7.2 million tax free. I'm gonna go ahead and pay back that $4 million on my son policy. He ain't got to worry about it. I'm gonna go ahead and get him another policy that he ain't got to pay for. His trust gonna be paying for it. We're gonna make that work. Get him some rental properties, out of the 60 units that I got in that, the 60 doors that I got in that business now. Guess what's gonna transpire? The trust will be the beneficiary of it, and of that particular trust, my son, the one who I got the policy name in, he will be the successor of that actual trust. He will understand everything he needs to do. The property taxes on an acre of land that don't have a property on it out the gate is about $30 a year. Once the properties are on there and the mortgages are on those properties, the tenants are paying the property taxes. It's included in the mortgage. Think. So now, since my son gonna be the beneficiary or the successor of that particular trust, they got them 60 units up in there and got this $6.2 million circulating if I passed away at 66. I don't freaking know. He gonna know what to do. And he never gonna have to work. My other kids, I'm gonna try my best to talk to all of them to make sure they're good, and I'm gonna set them up too. Put big policies on them. When they get, I think one of my sons was 16, one of my other sons was 13. I had to wait till he gets 16, but I can get policies on both of them because they'll be able to get consent in the state of Georgia. Now I don't have to get their mama consent. And their mama ain't gonna have no problem me putting a policy on them no way. Think. In 10 years, my health thing got better because I've been working out too. I ain't taking all the medicine. I had a precondition system. I got rid of all that crap. It is what it is. My oldest, I've been trying to mend that relationship with her. Got a good relationship with my grandkids that she from my oldest. But for her, I've been trying to mend that relationship. She just won't get over it. So my grandkids, I'm sending them up too. It ain't the kid responsibility to try to mend the relationship is mine. No matter if they're grown or not. I'm the parent. No, it's the way you structure it. Remember, if you structure it in a way where you're paying it back. So when you do these policies, you can have it structured in a way where you can pay it back every 30 days. You're gonna know your threshold you can go over. So if I'm running a full $80,000 a year into it, I would have to have a policy that actually a whole life insurance policy that support that amount and give me a cushion so I don't get hit with a MEC, which is that taxable event you're talking about. So that's where you're going to have to sit down with that life insurance broker and get those illustrations so that they can structure it the appropriate way so you never run into a MEC. Hopefully that makes sense. But that was a great question, family. 100% great question. And we'll be doing all type of stuff. And then my pretty little wife that's still young and she don't want to go nowhere. She ain't going nowhere at this point because her old sugar daddy didn't struck gold. He a sugar daddy now for real. I got a husband that do everything for me. She listening to everything now. She listening to everything that I'm saying now. She on board with everything. What you need me to do? She ain't trying to keep all her money for herself. She like, you need me to put some money somewhere? Yep. If you want to, you can put your money inside of a whole life insurance policy because you're 46, you're 45 now. You're still young enough to get you a nice size whole life insurance policy and run your money through that policy so you can build some and you can leave some more stuff to our son. But I want to be able to get a nice, pretty house and have me a nice closet. We done bought some land. We building a house. It is what it is. If we're not doing it though, the trust is doing it. We don't get nothing in these situations. They're not ours. If something happens to me, my successor is not you. If something happens to you, your successor ain't me. Our successor is our son. And our son love his other brother and sister. So he gonna look out for everybody. There's no conflict. So you ain't gotta worry about it. Well, I want to drive a nice, pretty car. Let's go ahead and start your business. So your business get whatever vehicle you want. Don't even worry about it. You don't want no business, you just want to lay around. That's cool. I actually started a driver service. And we are our first client. You're gonna be the secretary. We are our first client, and we got a driving service. Got a driver. Now I know that whatever driver I hire, I know he's gonna be messing with my little young wife at 66, 65 years old. I ain't doing the things I used to do. I ain't mad if she sneak off long as she don't get caught. We ain't tripping. I knew I was wrong for marrying that little young whippersnapper anyway. Shouldn't have married that little young whippersnapper at all. Well, I know when I got old enough, she was gonna start stepping out anyway. I can't even be mad about that. That's my fault. That is my karma. I got to deal with it, and I'm okay with dealing with it. I ain't doing that with it anyway. If she decide to run off, go ahead and run off and start over. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm in a place in my life where I'm just want to see my kids and my grandkids. I'm gonna continue teaching them the game. I'm gonna travel the world and do some other things. put on my sandals with no socks on. Got my air sandals on with no socks. White tees and no socks. The point that I'm making is you can't have fear in this situation. The opportunities are out there. There is no excuse. Nothing is stopping you. If you're one of those people right now that understands what I just explained to you, but you still are in fear and don't know how to connect the dots, but you want to connect the dots, go join Zabo103tv.com and let me show you and continue to show you. Let the community that's over there embrace you the way they're going to embrace you when you show up, and give you all the support that you need in order to keep moving forward and not get stuck. It's going to pass you by, people, if you do nothing. And rightfully so, it should. But over there at Zabo103 TV, we got a space over there, a safe space away from the nonsense where we go up every single day. I appreciate y'all more than y'all know. So look, I'm not going to be on here long. I'm actually about to wrap right now. We've been on about an hour and 40 minutes. I got to get up super early. We're going to be down at property number 29 in the morning, live on Zabo103tv.com. The link is in the bio. For those people, my law-abiding citizen, again, I appreciate y'all tapping in. I'll be live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the network. Shout out to y'all. For those people that are new to my live and you're still trying to figure out how to change your mindset, Zabo103 TV is definitely the place for you to be at. You also can go over there and get a free copy of my book. Me and my wife wrote this book back in 2019, Creating the Life You Truly Deserve. You can go over there and get a free digital copy of that book. Just go over there, put your email address in. It's going to send it directly to your email. Go over there and tap in. The link is in the bio. The link is in the bio. Definitely go tap in over there at Zabo103 TV. It's like Netflix with the ability of me going live too. It ain't powered by YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, Rumble. It's powered by Zabo103tv.com. It's my own network that I had created. The replays to this live will be at Zabian Gibson on Facebook, Zabo103 on YouTube, Zabo103 on Instagram, the only verified Zabo103 on Instagram, I might add. I know there's a lot of fake accounts out there, y'all. I can't do nothing about that, especially over there on TikTok. TikTok just let people run rampant over there, but with fake accounts. I ain't never gonna DM you. Ever. I'm not gonna DM you. Ever. I'm never going to comment up under my own post telling you that I'm going to DM you or for you to DM me. That's not me. I don't trade time for money. I trade money for time. I'm never going to DM you. I'm going to say that one more time for the person all the way in the back. I'm never going to DM you. What do I mean by that? If you DM me and I check my DM, I might DM you back. Maybe. I don't freaking know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I'm never DMing you first, ever, and I'm never going to ask you to DM me. I don't want to talk to y'all like that. I don't want to talk to y'all. And I don't even know what WhatsApp is. I just learned about WhatsApp this year. I ain't got no WhatsApp, y'all. I'm in the United States of America. I'm going to have a United States of America phone number. I ain't getting no WhatsApp. Don't be silly, people. Don't get played. And I can't even be mad at the people that's playing, y'all. They hustling too. It is what it is. I got love for y'all for sure. I definitely got love for y'all. But at the end of the day, look, y'all, I want everybody to be whatever level of successful that you deem you want to be successful. It's up to you. I created Zabo103tv.com as a platform for people to be their best them. Whatever it is that you want out of life, we able to show you the way to get there. And I don't have all the answers, but I got a lot of them. Enough of them to where I was able to retire my wife. Enough for where I was able to retire myself. Enough for where I was able to retire 25 of my other family members. Uh-oh. The course. 2 episodes of the course is up, y'all. Y'all can go over there and tap in over there. The 3rd episode of the course is going to air this Wednesday, I think at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My law-abiding citizens that are over there already, if y'all ain't went through those first 2 episodes, definitely go through those ASAP. Episode number 3, y'all gonna want to tap into that. Strongly suggest, I don't care if you're trying to get out of your rat race and you haven't got out yet. I don't care if you own your own business, because I know we got a good amount of business owners over there too. Okay, if you own your own business, episode number 3 of the course, y'all definitely want to tap in. I can't stress that enough. The course, we're gonna run an episode every week for probably the next, maybe the next 30 weeks. Something like that. Probably a little bit longer. I'm not sure. I got to look at it again. Once the course is complete, it will be packaged up. And for people that ain't on the network over there at Zabo103tv.com, the course is going to cost you $1,300. For the people that's on the network, you'll have access to it. $12.99 a month. By next year, that number is going to go up. Why is it going to go up? The app will be ready in about 9 months. The app will be ready in about 9 months. Y'all, we're moving fast, y'all. We've been up for 28 days on the network. Somebody said, you need an app. I said, you know what? That's a good idea. Let me go on and see about getting an app. Talk to my tech guy. Yeah, we can do your app, man. We can get it situated. It'll take us about 9 months. Are you for real? Yeah. All right, bet. Let's do it. So in about 9 months, boys and girls, the app will be here. Yesterday's price ain't going to be today's price. So if you're not grandfathered in already, I don't know what you waiting on. I don't know what y'all waiting on. We're going up. Literally, in every way. Also, for my people over there, if you missed the livestock auction, that recorded video is up along with the business vehicle stuff. That stuff is up. If you haven't checked that out, definitely go tap in over there. And again, I'll be live again in the morning on the network. In the meantime, y'all be good. Have fun being bad. And I'll see y'all, law-abiding citizens, in the morning. My social media family, I'll be on probably later on tomorrow afternoon sometime. I don't know. Peace. Oh, 10 a.m. Eastern morning. Y'all know the network be, service down there is crazy, y'all. So if you miss it for any reason, all of it's being recorded and it'll be uploaded probably the next day. But 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, I'll be live. All right, y'all. Peace.